door. Of course, it wants to start raining right before I do this video, but whatever. It's life. Anyway, so I wanted to do a story time video with you guys while I do my toes. I try to do like redo my toes like every week at least. I try to anyway. Whenever I have a day off from work, it's like a self-care ritual for myself. But yeah. Anyway, I want to kind of tell a story while I was doing it. Since I'm trying to figure out what the hell I want to put on this YouTube channel at the moment. I'm still not really sure what I want to put on it. I mean, I know I said I wanted to do like some my perspective on certain topics and different things like that or whatever, but I don't want it to just be that. That's kind of boring sometimes, like you guys don't necessarily care about my perspective. Like, who am I? You feel me? Um, but yeah, so I want to, I don't know, I thought this was a funny story anyway, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to put it. But it's my 21st birthday story. Um, for those of you who don't know, I'm 31. I'm getting ready to be 32 this October. And on my 21st birthday, I was living in Massachusetts. I'm originally born in Massachusetts. I was born in Cambridge, but I grew up in South Carolina. And I moved back to Boston when I think I just turned 19 or was getting ready to turn 19. Right? Or was that 20? Nah, I was 19. I was definitely, towards 19 or whatever. Um, and when I first got up there, I was living with an aunt of mine, and then I ended up going to Job Corps for a little while, and went to got a degree. Well, not a degree. It was like a certificate in pharmacy. So ended up being a CPHT, which is a certified pharmacy technician. Um, from there, I worked in the pharmacy for a few years. It was alright. I didn't really like it too much. Truthfully, it got too much for me. It took too much out of me. It was really draining with all the I don't know, like I love helping people, but I realized early on that the medical field wasn't the route I wanted to go. I think I cut my finger sometime. Alcohol just burnt the hell out of it. But anyway, what was I saying? Shit, I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh yeah. So my mom, she was in the medical field, so she kind of forced me to do like a lot of get like training in some medical field stuff or whatever. CNA was like the main thing. It was like the easiest little thing I can get. Um, but yeah, so I did it. Didn't like it at all. Like I didn't even last long in that at all. So with this pharmacy thing, which by the way I didn't want to do this at all either, the guidance counselor actually talked me into going into pharmacy because it was a more feminine route to go. I actually wanted to do masonry. They had like well, it wasn't just masonry. It was like this class where you learned how to do plumbing, masonry, and something else. Bricklaying. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was masonry, bricklaying, masonry, and plumbing, or something like that. But either way, I really wanted to learn how to do that because at the time, like I love building things with my hands. Like I love using my hands. Um, and so when I first got there, I was like, oh, this would be perfect for me. I would love to do something like this. And I guess she was a freaking guidance counselor. I don't know if that was a career counselor or whatever the hell she was or whatever. She was very one of those old ladies that are very traditional in a sense. So yeah, when I told her that's what I wanted, she's like, "Oh no, you should go for something like medical assistant or pharmacy or something." Well, she was trying to go more for a medical assistant. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not that. That's not me. I'm not about that life." And like we literally like argued for for a few weeks before we were able to kind of. She ended up convincing me to go into the pharmacy. And I'm like, "All right, well, it's not that feminine, I guess, and it's not necessarily that I have anything against." Because that's not even a feminine job. Neither one of them are feminine jobs, but it's just more women tend to go towards those jobs. And she was just kind of like, "Oh yeah, that's something that you should go for or whatever." And I'm like, I'm not doing it just because everybody else is fucking doing it. I've never been the type of person. I'm not a follower. um, but anyway, so I feel like I'm ranting. I'm not even telling my freaking 21st birthday story. I said song. So after Job Corps, I was 20, getting ready to turn 21. So I was already working in the pharmacy. I think I was working at CVS at the time. Yeah, I don't think I was working at Rite Aid yet. I was working at CVS at the time, and I was locked out of my aunt's house, who I was living with at the time. I was living. This is actually I was living with a different aunt at this time. 'Cause I had just reunited with my father in Massachusetts, and so I was living with his sister after I got out of the Job Corps. You know, trying to get used to that side of the family and kind of yeah, just kind of see my Haitian side of my family that I didn't know about. But so I was living there and I was locked out, and my birthday just happened to be the very next day. And about time. It took pretty long enough. My phone. It's my old phone anyway. I was uploading something. But yeah, so I was locked out of my house or whatnot, and my the closest person I was going to be able to open up the door was my little cousins, but they were still in school. And by the time they were going to get out of school, it was going to be like freaking like 3, 4 o'clock or whatever. And when I got out of work, it was like 12, 1 o'clock. So I had quite a few hours of just like staying around doing nothing, you know? And so I was like, you know what? I didn't really get a chance to kind of like walk around that area of the neighborhood as much. So I was like, you know what? Because I was like always freaking working. So I was like, you know what? Let me, walk around and see, see what the neighborhood got to offer. Maybe I can like find a park or something like that, and just people watch or something. So I was walking around. I walked around the corner of the building, and there was this little short kid, and he was sitting on the steps in front of what looked like it looked like a little church or something, but a really really small one. And he tried to get my attention or whatever, like he was trying to holler at me or whatever. And I was like, normally I kind of just like keep it moving, just mind my business or whatever. But I was like, you know what? I got time. I ain't got shit to do. Like I'm stuck. You know what I mean? I can't even get in my fucking house. So I'm just gonna walk around and if somebody talks to me, whatever, I'll be nice. I'll say hi. And normally I'm pretty kind of like don't talk to me type thing. But yeah, so he called me over and whatnot. We started talking, and I don't remember like exactly how the conversation went or whatever. It was like freaking 10, 11 years ago. But I remember it came up to where is he somehow it came up to where, as I said, it was my birthday the following day. And he was like, oh shit, like what are you doing for your birthday? And I'm like, I mean nothing. I don't really know too many people up here. I just moved back up here, you know what I mean? I was in Job Corps the whole time. And Job Corps was like freaking 3 hours away from where I was actually living at now. It was in Springfield, and at the moment I was back in Boston. So yeah, I was like, I don't really know too many people. I was just gonna freaking probably chill at home, maybe get a glass of wine or something, and just just chill. And he was like, "What? Nah, it's your 21st birthday. You can't do that." And I'm like, okay. You kind of going a little overboard there, but all right. I mean, I guess. I mean, most people they do kind of like want to do something crazy for their 21st birthday, so I get it. So yeah, so I was like, all right, like whatever, we can, I guess we can like go out to a bar or something like that. And he's like, yeah, don't, I'll get like some friends together and I got you. Don't even worry about it. I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. It's like, how many freaking guys probably tell me, oh, I'm going to do this, oh, I'm going to do that, and never freaking happens. So I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. Anyway, it's just kind of one ear right at the other. So then he was like, he asked me if I was hungry. I was like, yeah, I'm a little hungry or whatever. So he brought me where the church building that he was standing, like sitting on, like right next to it, it was like a building kind of like, it was sort of attached to it, I think. And he was like, come inside here or whatever. It's like a little like bar food thing or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So we go inside there and I see like a couple of guys where they were playing pool and it's kind of just chilling. And then there was like this long table where there was this woman back there and she was just like cooking. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then he asked me if I ever had Ethiopian food. And I was like, no. At this time, I didn't know he was Ethiopian. I just, he was just some random ass short kid. Like he was really short. Like standing next to me, like I'm 5'6.5", and he was like, yeah, he was about like right here. He was like right underneath my breastbone. And I was like, all right, cool. But he was actually kind of cute. He was funny. He was cute. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. But yeah, but I didn't know he was Ethiopian. And he's like, do you ever have you ever had Ethiopian food? And I was like, nah. He's like, all right, got you. So he ends up bringing, tells the woman, something. And a few minutes later, we sit down, and a few minutes later, she comes out with this, food of like, it was bread and like this, it looked like meat.
I think it was some kind of meat. I'm not 100% sure. All I know is really good. You just like dip the bread into it and you just eat it like that, and it was fucking delicious. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was called. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. Like I have to look this look it up because I have not had it since. And you know, it really was good. I'm not gonna lie. Like I kind of really want to look this up, but I'll do it after I finish this because it's freaking. Anyways, so so yeah, so we do that, we eat that or whatever, and just kind of just chilling, talking, getting to know each other and stuff like that. We end up playing like a game of pool and stuff, and I find out that it's kind of like a little worship area that I guess the Ethiopians that lived in that area that they would go to, you know, yeah, just like a little worshiping thing for them or whatever. So I was like, okay, so I kind of generally kind of figured out what it was, and the building that was attached to the church or the worship thing. It was just like where they would kind of hang out like afterwards or whatnot. Kind of like my church back in South Carolina, it actually had something like that too. But it was more like it was more guys that were inside the little part attached to the church, which is kind of opposite with my church in South Carolina. It's more women that usually were in there cooking and stuff like that and just kind of chilling. But anyway, after that, my cousins, they ended up finally coming home, so I ended up going home and changing. We were gonna meet up with each other in about like an hour and a half or whatever. So when I meet up with him, he didn't have a car. Like when I met him, obviously because he was sitting on the porch, and he told me he didn't have a car. So he ended up like renting a car for my birthday, and I was like, okay, this is kind of wild because I don't know who the fuck. Like we literally just met like 2 hours prior to this, and you're already out here freaking renting a car and all this other freaking random nonsense. But so yeah, so he rents the car, picks me up, and then he's like, all right, we're gonna go and drive and pick up a few more people, and then we're gonna start going bar hopping in Boston. I'm like, all right, cool. That sounds legit. I'm down for that or whatever. So when we started driving, I'm expecting like maybe 3-4 people or whatever. Because yeah, he said it was gonna be some people that he spoke to, whatever, to let them know that he had a girl. It's her birthday, and we were ready to party and shit. So yeah, like I said, I'm expecting like 4 or 5 people, maybe 8 tops, maybe if that, because because people like to party and shit, like especially around that time, people were like really wanting to party. So I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like maybe 8 people. So we turned down this corner to this big apartment like complex, and guys, I'm not over exaggerating. I swear to you, I'm not over exaggerating. There were at least 30-35 people over there. At least. Like it could have been more. Like it literally could have been more, but I'm just to be nice, I'm going to say 30 at least. And I mean, they were just a whole group of them. They're freaking, some of them were freaking dancing on cars. Some of them were in the parking lot dancing, like this freaking loud ass speakers with music playing. Everybody's smoking and drinking. Like everybody's having a good ass time just standing out in this parking lot. And I'm like, who are these people for? Like, who are all these people? And he's like, oh, they're here for your party. We're about to go out and have fun or whatever. We're all about to go hop in cars and just go freaking bar hop. And I'm like, what? Like, what? I don't, what? The shit was wild, okay? The shit was wild. And then, so I like get out the car or whatever to go like start meeting everybody. And he comes out, he's like, hey, everybody, this is the girl. This is her birthday today. And everybody's like, ah. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you really? And she was wild, you guys. And she was fucking wild. Like, I was like completely shocked. I was not expecting any of this. Because, like I said, I did not know this guy. Like, I just met him 2 hours prior to this shit. And he ends up getting like fucking 30 people to celebrate my fucking 21st birthday. I'm like, what the fuck? So after meeting everybody, we were kind of like all just chilling out there drinking and, getting to know each other a little bit or whatever. And then we decided to all hop in the cars and start, actually partying and shit, like what we were supposed to be doing. And as we're, where's my little freaking, as we're, don't mind my little, so I got this, this little thing from, I don't remember where I got it, maybe Walmart or something like that. It's quite a few years ago, as you can see, it's like all ripped up and shit like that. But it's like each side has a different thing for your nails. So there's a buffering side, there's a shine side, a shaper, and then a smoother. So I don't know, it's very convenient instead of having like all those things separately, just like all in one little, and it just fits in my little nail carrier thing easily, just pop and call them up for the day. I love it. But anyway, so where's number one? And it even gives you like numbers by all of them, so you know which one to start with to get your nails done and shit like that. I think, like I said, I think I got it at freaking Walmart or some shit like that. But anyway, so we're we all get in the car and in our separate cars or whatever, so we can start driving towards Boston, like towards like the Green Line, and that's where like all the good bars and shit like that were anyway at the time. And as we were like, there was it was me. I was in the passenger seat. He was in the driver's seat. And then in the back seat, it was like two guys and some chick. I don't remember who any of these. But don't even ask me nobody's names. None of that shit. I don't remember. I'm really terrible with names. Well, my memory is not the best in general. I ain't even gonna front. My memory is really not that good. But names, yeah, that's the worst. Names and numbers are really really bad for me to remember. But so yeah, so we're all in the car together, whatever, and we all start like taking shots and stuff. Now, mind you, I'm not a drinker at this point in time because I was a good girl. Well, I was a good girl. I wasn't much of a partier or anything like that, and not necessarily because of me. My mom was very strict for me growing up or whatever. So, yeah, my 21st birthday was my first real drink. Like legit, my first real drink. Prior to that, like I might have had like maybe a couple sips of a wine or some shit like that, but like a full on like really like drinking, my friend's 21st birthday was my first time. My very first time smoking was like I think my 23rd or 24th birthday, because even when I technically tried it the 18th, I didn't even do it right. So I don't even want to count that as my first time getting high. Because I was not. But anyway, so yeah, so we're all in the car or whatever, and we decide to start mixing liquors. And like I said, I'm not a drinker, so I didn't know that mixing liquor is not really a smart thing to do. And my 21st birthday is the reason why I will not drink gin. I can't even smell gin. If I smell gin, I want to gag. Like, it's that bad. It's so like, ugh. But so yeah, so we were taking freaking shots of gin. What the hell we were drinking? We were drinking gin, vodka, and it was a dark liquor that we were drinking, but I don't it wasn't Henny. Shit, what was it? Was it rum? It might have been a dark rum or something. I just remember that I remember drinking two light liquors and a dark liquor, and I remember one of them being vodka because I love vodka, and I remember one of them being gin because I literally cannot drink gin anymore. But the dark liquor, I think I want to say it was rum, like a dark rum or something like that. But so yeah, so we took a whole bunch of shots of those in the car as we're driving and shit like that, and we ended up going down to Boston and hopping into each bar and having fun and shit like that. And when we were going, well, one, finding parking was terrible, but we ended up finding parking, and when we did, we partied in the parking lot for a little while before we went to the goddamn clubs. One of the clubs, we were partying too long in the parking lot, so by the time we got to the club, it was already closed. I think it might have been the last one, actually. And then, so after, we're all partying and shit like that, we all get back in the cars and we're starting to head home. And by this time, all the alcohol had already started to really get to me. And I was starting to feel nauseous a little bit, and I was like, yo, as we were driving down the highway or whatever, I'm like, yo, I think I might need you to pull over because I feel like I might need to throw up. And he's like, oh no, you're good. You're not gonna throw up. You're fine. Just breathe. Put the window down and breathe. Well, actually, no, he didn't even tell me to put the window down because I ended up putting the window down. So he just was telling me just to breathe because I'll be fine or whatever. And I was like, nah, dude, like I really feel like I'm gonna throw up. So I ended up putting the window down like right before I threw up. Like I think it was like maybe 5 seconds. It wasn't even 5 seconds. Like literally as soon as that window went down, my head was it was bad. And the rental car he got was a white Nissan. Threw up all on the side of the fucking Nissan. All on the side of it. I felt so bad. But at the same time, I was like, I did tell you that I was gonna throw up. So I felt bad, but at the same time, not really, But he actually didn't flip out or get mad at me or anything like that or whatever. I think he kind of understood. Plus, I also think he was kind of drunk too. I mean, we were all drinking, having fun. So yeah. So is that good? Yeah, that's all right. So when we he actually didn't even pull over. Yeah, he just continued driving. Like he just literally just continued driving. And we ended up like going where we were supposed to go. We ended up dropping the people off who were in the back seat or whatnot, and then he dropped me. No, he didn't even drop me off at my house. We went to his house, which happened to be like maybe 2 or 3 blocks up the street. And like I kind of knew we were gonna go to his house, but I kind of didn't at the same time. I don't know. Like part of me kind of assumed that he was gonna drive me to my house because he kind of knew where I lived and at least the general area of where I lived. But at the same time, it could have been just like I don't know. Either way, we ended up at his house. Whatever the reasoning of it for, we ended up at his house. So we go to his house and actually get out the car and we go inside his house, go out like in through the front door or whatever, and there's like these stairs that go up to his bedroom. And so we go up there and there's like this kid just sitting on the, well, not kid, he was a grown man, but he was like just sitting on the stairs and he was just like on his phone. He looked like he was high out of his fucking mind, but he was just like sitting on his phone and he like looked up when I was coming up or whatever. He's like, hey. I was like, hey. He just went back to his phone. I was like, all right. So went up to his to kid's room and I sat on his bed and then we were just talking and shit like that for maybe 15, 20 minutes or so. And then he was like, I gotta use the bathroom. So I'm like, all right, cool. And so he gets up and he uses the bathroom. Now, mind you, while we were driving back to his house, we were smoking. And, oh, no, that wasn't. That was my first time. Was that my first time getting high? No, it wasn't. Holy shit, I think that was my first time getting high. I think I just lied to you guys. I think that literally was my first time getting high. Yeah, because we were smoking in the car before we got to the house. This is why I got paranoia at this point. Yeah. Oh, okay. See, look at it. Telling this story now, I'm remembering stuff. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm sitting on his bed. He goes and he went to go use the bathroom, and yeah, like I said, I was high and I was drunk. First time ever. So it was a really bad mixture for my first time ever doing both at the same fucking time. So I'm sitting on the bed and automatically I just started like freaking out. And I was like, because I think we were on the 3rd or 4th floor, if I'm not mistaken. And where his bed was, it was like the head part of the bed was it was like the head part of the bed right here, and there was the window that was right here. And I was sitting like right here. So I can kind of like look and see out the window as I'm sitting on the bed. So I'm looking out the window and I'm like, yo, I watch way too many freaking documentaries about people getting killed and shit like that, and automatically I'm just like, yo, I don't know who this guy is. Granted, yeah, we just went out, we had a blast and all this good stuff, but I'm like in this kid's room. I don't know who the fuck he is. I don't even remember his name at this point. I'm pretty positive I don't even remember his name. And I'm just sitting in his room. And there's another kid. He's just sitting on the stairs. I don't know who the hell he is. Like, Tanya, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? That's literally went through my head. Like, what are you doing here? You need to get the fuck up out of here. He could literally just come back in here and do whatever the hell he wanted to do with you, and nobody knows where the hell you at. Because I don't think I even told my aunt where I was going. I told her I was going out, but she didn't know, like, obviously who I was going out with or anything like that. I'm like, I'm a grown ass woman. I don't need to tell you what the hell I'm doing. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of probably should have told her what the hell I was doing. Because, like, yo, what? So yeah, so I had like this freaking little mini like freak out moment in my head, and I was like, you gotta do something. Like, you gotta get out of here. You gotta get out of here like now before he gets back out from the bathroom. Like, you gotta get out of here. So I'm like, okay, how are you gonna get out of here? So I'm like looking out the window. I'm like, okay, you could jump out the window, but you're probably gonna break something if you jump out the window because you don't really know how to jump out of a window safely. And you kind of high up. Like, you're not no parkourist, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like, shit. How the fuck? And it's like, and then I'm thinking like, yo, but there's a kid right there too, so you can't go down the stairs because he might stop you, especially if they really try and do some fucked up shit. Like, he'll probably be like, yo, where you going? You know? Like, and what are you gonna do? So literally, I'm like freaking the fuck out, and I was like, I finally got the balls. I was like, no, I'm fucking going down the stairs. Like, the dude looked like he was high out of his fucking mind anyway. He was on the damn phone. He wasn't paying attention. Just walk right past him like it's nothing. Like, you're just gonna go grab something from your car or something. Like, he don't know. You know what I mean? So that's literally what I did. I got up, I started walking down the stairs, and the guy looks up to me, like, right when I got, like, right where he was, he looks up at me, and I'm like, just forgot something. He's like, huh? And we're right back to his phone. I was like, all right. So I get out the freaking door, and as soon as I closed that damn door, I fucking booked it down the street. Y'all, like, I was flying down the street, you guys. Fucking flying down the street. Like, like you would have thought a freaking murder was behind me or some shit. Like, it was bad. Granted, I'm glad I actually knew where I was. Because like I said, I had just moved back to Boston, so I was still kind of like learning, you know, where everything was and stuff like that. And people who know me know I am not good with directions at all. Like my memory is bad with numbers and with names, and I'm not the best with directions. So the fact that I actually knew where I was and was able to get back home successfully with no issues was amazing. But like God was on my side. That's all I gotta say. God was on my side. So yeah, so I started booking it and running down freaking street. I think I was running like maybe 5 minutes, and then I like was almost about to pass the plug out because I'm not a runner like that, and I definitely wasn't working out like that back then. It probably wasn't even 5 minutes. Day true, it probably felt like 5 minutes, but it was probably like a minute or two. But so I stopped freaking running, and literally as soon as I started running, I get a phone call from my phone. It was him because we had obviously exchanged numbers earlier through in the night or whatnot. So yeah, so he calls me. He's like, "Hey, where'd you go?" And he's like, "Hey, where'd you go?" Like, I came out of the bathroom and you were gone or whatever. I was like, "Oh, I just forgot something in the car. I'll be back in a second." He's like, "Oh, but how'd you get in the car?" And I had already hung up by then. And I was like, "Fuck, he's gonna find out. I gotta run again." So I started running again. And then he calls back like maybe 3 minutes or so. He calls back and I didn't answer that time. I just like blocked his number after that. It was so bad. I don't know why I did that. Like I really just freaking freaked out. And that poor kid probably wasn't even gonna do anything. He could have. Not saying he definitely could have. I don't know. Because people are crazy out here. But at the same time, he probably wasn't. I probably could have just like, freaked myself out for no goddamn reason. And yeah. That was that was it. That was my 21st birthday. That's how I spent my 21st birthday, you guys. Ended it running home, scared out of my fucking mind, thinking that I was about to get freaking raped, kidnapped, and never seen again. Lord have mercy. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue doing my nails now. I thought I was at least gonna be able to like polish my toenails while I was doing the story, but I told the story a lot faster than I thought I was gonna tell the story. So I'll just like put a picture of what my toes ended up looking like. But yeah, I hope you guys have a nice day. And the rain stopped. Oh, nice. But yeah, deuces. And truthfully, for the guy that this happened with, I'm sorry. Like really I am. I'm really not like that crazy of a person, but I kind of thought you were crazy. I felt like it was like too good to be true, like there's way too much shit going on, way too many good things going on, you know what I mean? Like, and at that time in my life, like I wasn't really trusting of a lot of people. Well, obviously I was trusting enough to do what I did, but I was also naive. So, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. But anyways, like, yeah, I felt like there was just too many good things going on and something fucked up was about to happen. So I need to get the fuck up out of there before, something fucked up happened. And I don't think the weed helped at all. I think the weed definitely exasperated the situation 100%. But yeah, if you ever do see this video, I'm sorry. I really am. I mean, you probably were a good person and I wasn't like, I'm sorry. Lord have mercy.